Okay, if you've ever felt just totally swallowed up by the overwhelming anxiety and that relentless hustle culture of your 20s and 30s, listen, you are definitely not alone. It kind of feels like every single choice is a life or death decision, right? Like everyone is watching your every move. Well, today, in this explainer, we're diving into something truly special. We're going to frame the source material as a letter written directly from a 60-something mentor to their younger self. We're looking at the exact, no BS lessons they desperately wish they'd known decades earlier.
Okay, let's dive into this. The infinite resource turned out to be very finite, very late. Man, what an incredibly powerful quote. It really sets this intimate, urgent tone for our whole explainer. When you're young, time, energy, and health, they feel absolutely endless. You spend hours on things that literally just don't matter. Doom scrolling, arguing with random strangers online, staying in relationships that honestly ended a year ago, all because the hours feel infinite. But the brutal math of life? That resource runs out, and you usually don't realize it until the clock has almost run down.
So let's bypass the preachy advice and jump right into Section 1, Dear Younger Me. We're going to look at 3 critical shifts in priority from your 20s to your 60s.
Which brings us to shift number 1, the empty audience. This is the big social shift. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it highlights that exhausting, endless performance we put on when we're younger. In your 20s, you're constantly optimizing your life for other people's opinions, basically performing for a massive hypercritical crowd. But the 60-something reality, you realize literally no one was ever watching you in the first place. That audience you're so terrified of, the one judging your bad outfit or remembering that awkward stutter from 3 days ago, doesn't actually exist. Honestly, they forgot about your awkward moment before they even walked out to the parking lot.
The source material brilliantly calls this the private surveillance state. It's such an exhausting mental condition. Think about it. Everyone in the room is running their own private surveillance state on themselves. They are way too busy tracking their own perceived flaws to have even a sliver of bandwidth left to notice yours. This intense self-obsession is exactly why we skip a dance class because we think we'll look goofy, or why we stay completely silent in an important meeting. We effectively lock ourselves in a prison, totally unaware that the prison is empty and we're the only inmate. The freedom you want? It's already there.
All right, moving on to shift number 2, your body's credit line. Let's talk about the physical shift.
When you're young, your body feels like a rental car with premium insurance, right? You can just drive it into the ground and it seemingly magically repairs itself overnight. The 20s mindset is eat trash, sleep 4 hours, skip the gym, and boom, bounce back by noon. You kind of think this invincibility is just who you are. But, and this is a big but, it's not. It's actually a credit line, and you're maxing it out without ever reading the terms and conditions. Your body keeps perfect records, guys. The reality in your 60s is that the bill finally comes due 20 years late, and it comes with massive physical compound interest. And this brilliantly illustrates how that compound physical interest actually plays out over time. At 25, ignoring sleep and skipping the gym feels like a totally free choice, zero consequences. But trace that forward. By 45, years of bad sleep have prematurely aged your brain, and those skipped workouts, they've morphed into a bad back. Fast forward to 65, and those neglected little habits have quietly snowballed into chronic pain and a literal knee replacement. Every late night turned into a bad knee. Every skipped workout became a daily, chronic issue.
So what's the mentor's fix here? Well, it's a list of very unglamorous daily habits. You've got to sleep like it's your actual job. You need to lift weights specifically to protect those knees. Work on your posture early, like before your back forces you to. And floss like an absolute obsessive. Seriously. These are super unsexy, kind of boring habits, but they are the scalable habits that dictate the rest of your life. People who master these 4 basic systems, they cruise through their 70s like they're in their 50s, traveling the world. People who don't end up spending half their day just managing pain and fatigue.
Okay, shift number 3, the myth of later. This is the temporal shift.
Let's move to this and see how it builds on everything else. The mindset of youth is that we're always preparing to actually enjoy life once things finally settle down. But then the next thing happens, and the next. That right time just keeps getting pushed back. The crushing reality of your 60s is realizing that the preparation, that was the life. There is no magical future moment of arrival. Waiting for perfect timing just means you never actually live in the present.
The source material gets super specific and honestly pretty heartbreaking about this. Those trips you carefully plan and delay until retirement, they turn into trips you physically cannot take because your knees gave out first. Or that good wine you've been saving in the back of the cupboard for a truly special occasion, that just becomes the bottle your kids casually clear out after your funeral. The right time was really just a story you told yourself to justify putting off your own life.
Finally, Section 4, yours truly, bringing it all together into a holistic guide.
So, the crucial point is, as we wrap up this letter from the future, we have to synthesize these social, physical, and temporal shifts. This isn't just a list of scary warnings, it's a highly practical, holistic guide to immediate, long-term freedom. The mentor doesn't want to scare you, they want to wake you up. Here are the big action items from your future self. First, realize the social prison is empty. Stop waiting for an audience that isn't looking. Speak up in the meeting. Take the weird dance class. Second, protect your boring Tuesday habits. Build your 60s body today by sleeping and lifting when it's easy. And finally, stop postponing joy. Pop open that good wine on a random Wednesday. Take the trip badly instead of perfectly. Buy the flowers for absolutely no reason at all.
Which brings us to the final, most provocative question of this explainer. If there truly is no future moment of arrival where everything finally settles down, what exactly are you waiting for today? You cannot get those hours back. The good times don't show up because you timed everything perfectly. They show up because you finally decided to stop waiting. So take this letter to heart, rethink your timeline, and go start living your actual life right now.